Okay, so here we go, man. Okay, the position is clearly not in my row, so let's see if the AIs manage to find their opponent easily. So this is a totemic war. Okay, Pharaon had some issues to find the 4 ships. He did find the first 2 ships, but it looks to be fine eventually for Pharaon. Oh, it looks like he took 2 ships from Promi, maybe. They are pretty close with each other. From his side, he does have a great forest in the back. Very big forest. And the gold is exposed. The stone is okay. The second lumber camp is not in the best position. It could have been built in the same forest than the previous lumber camp, but it's fine anyway. It looks like Promi is gonna find its opponent quite easily. Maybe Promi did start to explore quite fast in this game because he didn't find the deer to lose the TC, I guess. Oh, good job by the scout. And Pharaon is starting to explore, circling around the map to find its opponent. It will take time, of course. So this is gonna be an archery range both sides, and we can expect some archers for Promi. And skirmishers for Pharaon. It does have 2 strategies. In Feudal Age it can go for skirmishers or archers, but it's actually not mining gold, so it's gonna be skirmishers, of course. That can be a small advantage, but training skirmishers can slow down the economy because it requires some food, so we can expect some idle TC. And Pharaon did find his opponents. Okay, we've got the blacksmith, and we've got the blacksmith for Promi, and we've got 1 tower which is built in a pretty decent position. So this is skirmishers versus archers. Let's see if Pharaon managed to... Well, the tower is clearly a problem actually for Pharaon. It is preventing him to attack Promi in a decent way. And fletching is research both sides. Promi does have the advantage of the hill actually, but Pharaon has a bit more units and it is making the difference. So that way Pharaon can now maybe start to push its opponent. Let me check if... Yes, no, he didn't find the TC at this point. The TC is not found. Okay. Promi should probably be faster in researching castle, and if this is actually the case, 25 minutes is a pretty decent time. It's probably because it did start training archers first. And at this point Promi did lose no villagers. And Pharaon is researching castle 2 minutes after Promi. That's a huge difference for advantage for Promi at this point, and we can expect knights. It's time to retreat, but it's gonna be pretty hard to manage to defend versus those knights. I think that at this point Promi should start pushing. I don't know why it stays home. And Promi is playing with 3 stables, that's a lot, while Pharaon does have 1 stable only at this point. Well, now the big advantage is for Promi because it does have actually 20 more villagers than its opponent. So it's all about the way Pharaon will take any advantage of its military population, but it's actually the case. Oh, we've got 1 Manel. The Mongolal is safe. Almost 40 military population for Pharaon. But look at this, Promi is researching Imperial Age pretty soon now. Yep. And this is the moment chosen by Pharaon to push its opponent. This is probably the K time. And overall, the Mongolians are doing a great job. So 34 villager military versus 11. But Promi is gonna have an Imperial Age military population pretty soon with the wall upgrade, and that's gonna be pretty hard for Pharaon, I guess. I would say that Promi managed to defend pretty well. Of course, with the tower, with the town center built in the front, and of course the mangonels and the few knights, all what Promi needed to defend. The time it developed its economy pretty strongly. And we've got some micro for the archers versus the knights. That way Pharaon keeps saving its army. But it needs to actually to get the Imperial Age. So as I said before, Pharaon is more aggressive than Promi, of course. Promi is more conservative. It was clear in that game the difference in the way the AIs are playing. So we've got actually Alvarez, Cavaliers. That's gonna be hard actually for Pharaon. And the military population of Promi is actually growing fastly. In the Davis Cup 4, those AIs played against each other. The score was 2-2, and Pharaon did win the 1v1 and the 2v2 and lost the 3v3 and 4v4. So let's say that this first victory for Promi is really promising. For Promiscuity, I mean, not for me. And we've got the Edge Imperial Age, which is actually researched after 54 minutes. But it's clearly too late. It's interesting to notice that Promi as Teutonic don't go for knights, they prefer to go for front cannoneers and halberdiers, few skirmishers. And I guess that Promi does have 4 relics against 1. Yep. Okay, so the first game is played. Oh, you're here, Promiscuity, that's nice. It was a shame when I saw that you were not around, but you're here, it's good. So let me change the score. So the next game is going to be the 4v4, then the 3v3 and the 2v2 at the end. I think that the fact that Promi Pharaon did have some trouble to find Promi in the very early feudal age was pretty important in the final result of this game. So guys, let me know if you want to join me in the channel. It's open. I am in the voice channel and I can give you the IP if needed. Hello Leif. Okay, we've got Leif.
Hello.
Hello Leif. Nice to see you.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, that's great.
For once.
So you watched the 1v1?
I did, yeah. Pharaon looked like he was going to win the match, and then Promi came back.
Yep, definitely. So let's see the 4v4. I think that Promi does have a clear advantage in team games because he does have a pretty strong pockets. So let's see. I assume that you've got my IP?
I believe so.
Okay. So here we go.
4v4.
Yep. Okay, so we've got Frankish, Mongol, Korean and Teutonic. The question is, where is the Frankish boss side? Pharaon side, we've got Korean and Mongol as pockets, and Frankish and Teutonic as flank. Other side, we've got Teutonic and Korean pockets. So it means that both of the Frankish players are flank. That's pretty important.
Which do you think is better? The Promi pockets or Pharaon pockets?
Definitely Promi's pockets. Which is, in my opinion, with Barbarian, the best AI in the economy, and it usually managed to have a great economy as pocket. And I noticed that there is a real improvement in the latest version of Promi compared to the previous one, in which pockets tend to be too passive. Actually, I noticed that pockets can be really more helpful for the flanks.
And I am thinking the Teutons and Koreans are both pretty good choices for pockets. Koreans especially shine in that position.
Yeah.
So, looking here at purple, I bet Promi's flanks will probably be attacked first. We'll see. Purple, I like purple's town quite a lot, actually. All of its resources are safe. The forests kind of bottleneck going right toward the TC. The lumber camp, second lumber camp, could have been built in a better spot. But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. It can, yeah, the tower position will be important, but if the tower is built in the hill, it's gonna be pretty difficult for teal to attack purple.
I agree.
And opposite side, I would say that it's really similar. Look at the orange map. The two forests in the front, the gold in the back. An opportunity to build a good tower between the two lumber camp.
Yep. I'm curious which path Gray will take. If they'll go between the forests or if they'll hit the stone mine. Either one is pretty easily defended.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna be in the front. between the lumber camp.
Hmm.
I think that it's what Promiscutive made, a tower in the front between its town center and the enemy. But I can be wrong. Strategies
Yeah,
are
so we
gonna
got the players advancing to the feudal age now.
Yep.
Looks like Gray is going for archers.
Yep. Archers for Grey, and for Teal is gonna be archers too. Archers plus skirmishers.
Yep, it looks like Teal might be moving on toward the attack.
Teal is the first attacking, and look at the tower, which is actually protecting one lumber camp, but the other one is attacked. Oh, we've got interesting men-at-arms.
Man-at-arms defense.
It's pretty good to defend against a bunch of skirmishers and too few archers in this army composition.
Then we got Gray attacking. The orange tower's in a good spot. Better than the purple one, I'd say.
In fact.
I'm kind of curious if Gray's going to find the mining camp. The gold's all in that one spot, so that could be pretty vulnerable. And orange doesn't have much of a military defense.
Okay, that's interesting. Both of the flanks do train some men-at-arms.
We got some blue knights.
Yep.
Helping out Gray here.
Yep. We've got the red, which is attacking too. It could be interesting to ask to Promiscutive if the men-at-arms trend in the early feudal age is to counter tribal and Maya. I think it's the case. Because of course...
I wonder if it's also something that maybe was made for Wello Kingdoms and DE. Because men-at-arms are stronger in those versions.
Oh, that's right.
We got a teal tower trying to go up here. Purple villagers defending. See if it goes up. I think it'll go up, but it might go down pretty quickly.
So at this point it can be interesting to compare the civilian population of the pockets both sides. So we've got yellow, which is actually having the most villagers. 50,
And green's about the
56.
same number.
Yeah, close to the same in fact. And Teal is actually pushing pretty hard against... Oh, this is the tower which is under construction for Teal. The purple villagers are trying to destroy the tower. Okay, it will be the case eventually.
Yep.
That
Looks
was
like towers aren't
ambitious.
gonna
Huh?
be effective against Promi. Promi's tower defense seems to work.
So, well, purple is actually damaged. It is slow, low pop.
Orange seems to be doing a bit better.
Yeah.
Right now the battle's outside of Orange's town.
I think that red is
Actually getting close to Gray.
doing a good job helping to push. And in fact, now
One thing about Teal's towers is it does cause the purple villagers to be idle, but that does waste a lot of stone.
yeah.
One thing I'm waiting for is I haven't seen yellow do a whole lot. We got red helping orange out. And that's the reason why orange is in Gray's town right now.
Yeah, exactly. Teal is almost ready to attack. It's trending good line. It can be the condition why actually yellow is waiting, maybe.
I think you might be right. Looks like yellow knights are gathering.
Oh, Teal is actually crossing the map just because it considers that purple is actually very low top. That can be dangerous because if it meets the So many yellow knights. Oh, look at this. Yellow is actually researching the age. 34 minutes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Lots of yellow knights.
Yeah, it will be yellow paladins pretty soon now.
Yep.
Okay, inventory orange is clearly attacked. Grey is actually very hurt a lot, but it's safe. And now I think that Teal is gonna be dead pretty soon.
Yep, here the knights come.
We've got Cavaliers, okay. Cavaliers versus Crossbows.
I think one is better than the other.
In fact. And green definitely needs some delay. If it's attacked too early by yellow, that's gonna be hard. We've got Cavaliers for green now.
Looks like Teal's requesting aid. Not getting any yet.
7 population.
Gray's struggling as well.
Okay, we've got camels for blue. Oh, wait. Okay, yellow is eventually targeting green, which is not home. Well, this protocol was expected, I'm not surprised.
Yep, Promi is pretty good at booming up.
Well, when Promi has Paladin Civilization as pockets, this situation happens pretty often.
Yeah, just steamrolls
Yep.
over all the other players. Green's trying to make some halberdiers, but not doing much damage.
Yeah, it needs to mass. And interesting, orange is eventually researching to the average.
Ah. Purple's still struggling, but takes a while to recover. Right now it's a 2v3.
Well, but look at the population. Green is very low already. It definitely couldn't handle those so many paladins.
Yep, yellow's out of Green's town for now, but they'll be back. Looks like they decided to clean up teal completely.
Yep.
Meanwhile, orange and red are in blue's town.
Oh, Teal did rebuild the 1 TC in the safe position between green and blue. But it's no more safe anyway.
Safe as you could be on this map, but
Exactly.
no place is safe against Promi right now. Green has bomber towers, but red has trebuchets.
And it does have rams anyway. Mobile towers
Yep.
are pretty weak against rams.
I remember when Bomber Towers were really strong against Rams.
In fact, in the AOK.
Yep.
So,
And
well
GG.
played. Well played.
Yep, strong performance from Promi.
This is a good start for Promi. A good start. We still got 2 games, 3v3 and 2v2. I did test a game yesterday between Promi and, well, I did made several tests, of course, and in my test I did a 3v3 and Pharaon managed to win. So I won't say that I'm confident, of course, but I know that Pharaon does have the opportunity maybe to win. Maybe.
Well, we'll see what happens in the next game.
Mm-hmm. So this is the seeded number 2 versus the seeded number 13. Here we go.
And here we go. We got Huns, Britons, and Turks.
Exactly. From his side we've got the Turkish pockets. And Pharaon's side we've got the Breton pockets. Hard to say which of those two civilizations is the best as pockets between Turkish and Breton. Turkish does have bloodline, which is pretty important and great when you go for knights.
Yep.
in castle. But beside we've got a great economy for Britain with almost 3 TCs, I would say.
Yep, so Britain should have a good boom.
Yep.
I don't know if Pharaon would go for Cavaliers or go for a million longbows.
Yeah.
I don't know which is better as a pocket.
Well, as pockets, Pharaon will go for knights. I don't believe in going archers as pocket.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw Viper, who posted the game on YouTube. He played as Breton as pocket, and he trained just longbowmen, and did play pretty well, I would say.
Yep, he can play anything well, of course.
Yep, it was.
Doesn't mean it's always the best strategy, but it's fun to mix it up from time to time. So let's see, the flank players are actually really far away. At least it feels that way.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing. Between blue and purple, the distance is crazy. And almost
yeah, it
same.
seems like maybe it'll favor a more passive game.
Exactly. So it's
which might favor Promi.
Exactly. So pretty decent village time for both of the Promi's flank.
So looking at the different villages, I did notice that Teal has like no forest. Has the one back forest,
Yeah,
which it
that's
found.
horrible, in fact.
And then it found the second forest, which is about as good as you could get. Yellow probably has a better position.
Well, as you said anyway, the distance between the flanks is clearly an advantage for Promi. And in fact, once again, we see men at arms from his side. It's the case with purple. Okay, so here we go for the blue pushing. Or not. It's retreating.
So it looks like purple is building a tower right now. That should help out a little bit.
Yep.
Blue spearman died just directly to the town center. Might have been scatting, I'm not sure.
So blue does have already a lot of units, 20 units. The double the military population of purple. So here we go.
And teal's trying to attack as well.
Okay, so blue is eventually facing the purple's army.
Blue's numbers should win. We got a tower going up, or about to go up, next to purple's market.
Exactly, not the best position, I would say.
Nope, but it might be safe if the blue's army stays where it is.
Yeah, but I think that it should move.
Yep, I agree. The purple has abandoned the gold mine.
Oh, we've got red, which is already here, forcing teal to care, of course.
Meanwhile, looks like green is coming to attack as well.
I think that at this point it's no more useful it's worst, I would say, to build towers versus Promi.
Yeah.
The reaction of Promi is... And okay, blue is clearly dominating purple at this point. Oh, it's interesting to see that Promi is helping both sides.
Yeah. That is interesting. Red coming toward purple right now.
And green does have a pretty bad kill ratio.
Red's is pretty good. Kill loss ratio.
Yeah. It's clearly proactive. It's now back to Yellowstone.
Yeah. Playing as pocket in a 3v3 is hard, knowing if you should stay and help out one ally, or if you should go back and forth and waste all that walking time.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty...
You gotta be careful to make your eye not be indecisive and just walk back and forth and never attack.
And red managed to have more units than green, again and again, and more villagers. More military and more villagers. At least more military because it lost 0 units at this point. That's crazy. 38 kill and 0 loss.
Alright, now we're seeing red attack blue. Purple might be helping out also. Lots of knights in blue's town.
Yep.
Blue only has spearmen. See, what do you expect green to need to send the knights to blue right now?
Well, the way Pharaon plays in 3v3 is clearly not optimal. If I'm right to check which is the closest flank and the priority will consist in helping the closest ally.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily switch back and forth.
Yep. It's kind of basic, I would say.
Yep. It's probably better than doing a wandering back and forth that I was talking about earlier.
So at this point, what we can say, purple is actually increasing a lot its population because it's safe for a long time now. Blue is really slowed down. Yellow is pushed 1 versus 2, but it does have almost 80 civilian population, so I would say that it's okay, and red is probably gonna help him at time.
I feel like one of the Pharaon players needs to bring a ram into Yellow's town.
Yeah, and yellow does have 1 castle in a very good position.
It's got a pretty good castle.
Yep.
But the military numbers aren't super huge right now. A ram could help out a lot.
And now green is under attack.
And red has some camels.
Okay, so we've got quite a lot of barbages at this point.
Yep, so that's a good response from green.
Yeah, but it's not enough anyway. We've got
Nope.
80 camels.
Red's got siege rams into green's town.
Yeah, green lost already 1 castle and was close to lose another castle. It's basically 2 versus 3 at this point.
So it does look like green switched to longbowmen and halberdiers.
Yep.
I don't know if that's green's primary strategy or if that was a counter strategy.
Oh, look at the purple's army. So many cavaliers. That's gonna hurt a lot. I guess that purple is already targeting green.
Purple's getting paladin.
Yep.
Heavy cavalry archer as well.
Yep, everything the Huns need. Heavy cavalry archers, paladins.
I think the heavy cavalry archer upgrade is one that I underestimated for a long time because it was really expensive and didn't boost the stats a whole lot. But I think the extra damage and hit points actually does help out more than you'd think.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the AOT before, and at least it was very expensive and clearly not efficient in AOT, but in AOC it's clearly better. Of course, if you are Huns or Mongol, for example.
But in the original game, it was limited to basically Mongols and Huns. The other civilizations, it wasn't worth it, as he said.
So if we compare Promi versus Pharaon with the Davis Cup 4, you can see that clearly Promi plays much better than the previous season. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm noticing that too.
I hope that we will have the opportunity to see Promi playing versus Pharaon in this
Yep,
tournament.
that'll be wonderful.
It can happen, but Promi will need to finish at one of the two first place of the Group B.
But it seems like it might happen. I remember testing General against Promi quite a bit in the final stage 1.
Yeah.
And I was, of course, using the version from a couple years ago, and I could definitely see when we casted the matches against Promi versus General, that Promi was way stronger.
So regarding what we just saw, this 3v3, we saw that Promi clearly won easily because the pocket was crazy. But at the same time, we can see that Pharaon can get the advantage as flank. So I think that Pharaon can win the 2v2. Honestly, I would not like a 4-0. I don't remember what I bet for this set. Let me check. I'm curious. Oh yes, I bet 3-1 for Promi. Okay, let's see. So here we go. Oh, France plus Frankish. Interesting. Okay, so in the bottom we've got Pharaon. Blue is bottom left, as Hans. The Hans is gonna play versus the Frankish, both sides. And red does have not the best map, but Edge Forest anyway. Are you here, Leif?
I am here.
Okay. This time I would say that yellow does have the worst map. Forest is clearly far from the TC. The main goal is in the front.
Yeah, yellow is pretty bad. There's like nothing good you can say about it.
Yeah.
No back forest. Gold is kind of far forward. Forest is far away.
In fact, it's well balanced compared to the 3v3, in which the T-Leaf and Ryan team player had a pretty bad map too. Pharaon's side. This time this is Promi. So the key in this game is to find the opponent fast for Pharaon. This is pretty important, and that way it can start pushing. I wouldn't be surprised if Promi once again go for archers.
Maybe we'll see man-at-arms, but I actually don't know what's the best transition into knights if they go for knights. But they're both technically flanks, so they might not go for knights as much.
Yep.
One thing I noticed about Red's town is that all of its gold mines are in one single line. And so it might be hard to reclaim gold if Blue can just camp his armies right by the gold mine and the lumber camp.
Yep. But anyway, be sure that Promi will build the tower in a good position. So the whole area is both 2 archer range. I don't see any militia this time for Promi. Okay, blue is starting to push. Green didn't find yellow? Okay, he just found. I'm curious to see if green is gonna retarget, because it's actually sending its units on red. Despite having... okay, it's eventually targeting yellow. Yellow does have already 1 tower on the gold. Green does have an advantage with the hill, that helps. It's actually taking a small advantage. Sure, but the scout is helping.
Yep, and then the scout's running away.
Okay, and blue is preventing red to get some wood. Oh, it's gonna attempt to build a pretty bad tower. I mean the blue player very close to the red tower.
Yep, that tower is probably not going to do much, but the skirmishers are doing well.
Oh, it was interesting to see red sending its units to help yellow while it's actually attacked by blue. But
yeah, that is interesting. Maybe red didn't consider himself under attack for some reason. It looks like blue never got to start building his tower.
yeah, it just lost 1 villager and deleted its tower. Yeah, red is actually in a bad position, but blue can't really make any damage, and yellow is doing a good job in the return.
Red is... yeah, so yellow's helping out blue, so... red needed that help for sure. That's actually one of the few times I've seen ally assistance in the feudal age.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool to see.
Okay, so let's see what green can do. It's 26 units. Green is having more units than yellow so far.
Right now, the three AIs except for red are going to the castle age now.
Yep.
What's funny is that red is sending his soldiers to help yellow, but yellow's not sending his soldiers back home. Or now he is.
So blue is gonna try and knight with 2 saddles, same for green. Okay, yellow is under pressure. Okay, so blue is coming on red. So is green on yellow. At this point, Pharaon does have a clear advantage if you look. on the military population. Let's see if Promi once again managed to defend pretty well.
Yellow's got a mangonel, which will help out a little bit. I think the Knights need to focus down the mangonels more, but Blue's having a pretty nice time, I'd say. Red is going to the Castle Age, but it might be too late right now.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the civilian population, Promi is not that far from Pharaon, I would say. Okay, it looks like Pharaon managed to win the 2v2, so I'm happy.
Yep, that's what it seems like to me. Both Promis are basically all gone with their military.
Yep.
Once Pharaon brings in some rams, which Green is doing right now, that'll kind of end the game, I think. Pharaon is also way ahead in villagers as well.
Yep, at this point, Red has 32 civilian population and Blue does have 100. 3 times more. And now let's see if Promi does have decent design roads.
Blue's going to the Imperial Age.
Okay, decent time I would say for 39 minutes, that's okay. What I don't like is to see the Green Knights coming to attack the Mangonel and just retreat at the worst moment when the Mangonel is close to be destroyed.
Yeah, that'd be frustrating for sure. I did see a couple times where the Green Knights were trying to knock down a tower instead of attacking the mangonel.
Exactly, yeah. Something that definitely needs to be fixed. I think that it's ugly because it doesn't have chain barding, which is a condition to just not carrying the missiles from the tower or from the PCs. I don't know why Green doesn't have chain barding at this point.
Alright, Promi's resigned.
Yep. 3, 2, 1. Okay.